When Grand Theft Auto 5 launched in 2013, it made $1 billion in 3 days. And it didn't stop there. Over the next decade, more than 200 million people stepped into Los Santos and kept coming back. Most studios would call that a legacy, but for Rockstar, it's a trap. Because making a game of that scale comes at a cost. The creative lead behind every GTA story left in 2020. The gap between games stretched past a decade, and the budget ballooned into the billions, all while expectations kept growing. Which is exactly why GTA 6 won't be like GTA 5, because GTA 5 already did everything it was supposed to do. So the real question is, how do you even follow up something like that? The release of Grand Theft Auto 5 marked another defining moment for Rockstar and for gaming as a whole. It was a significant evolution from the more grounded and structured design of Rockstar's previous titles, shifting towards something faster, more dynamic, and what looked like something far more ambitious in scale. At the time, it almost felt surreal, as if the scale and detail had jumped ahead of everything else overnight. It became the kind of game everything else was compared to, and rarely matched. And when you look at the game itself, it's easy to see why. Because sales and numbers aside, the game felt like a step up from its predecessors, becoming the first game in the GTA series to introduce 3 main protagonists. 3 characters meant 3 different stories, 3 different lives, and 3 completely different personalities. For a brief moment, it really did feel like the perfect game. And that feeling held up for a while. As the years went on, Grand Theft Auto 5 only continued to grow, dominating the years that followed. More players had visited Los Santos than any previous Rockstar title, and they'd keep returning to it again and again. But the more the players kept coming back, the more the cracks that began to show. These weren't the kind of cracks you notice through bugs or glitches, as they were part of the design itself. With nearly 70% of the map made up of just mountains, much of it served little to no purpose and didn't really give you a reason to go there. You could tell that the map wasn't built to be played for 10 straight years, as most of what the game offered was concentrated in a few key areas, leaving the rest of the map feeling disconnected from the experience. It's safe to say Rockstar is already addressing this going into GTA 6, with the map confirmed to be set in a fictional parody of Florida. It already solves the mountain problem, as there are none in Florida. Although Rockstar never explicitly said only Vice City, but labeled the whole thing as Leonida, which suggests a world built around multiple active areas rather than one central location. It might not be unrealistic to expect more than one city, as San Andreas managed to pull it off so well. It also means that Rockstar can't rely on empty spaces anymore, and would have to fill the world with details and activity so it doesn't feel as dull and empty as GTA 5's map. And from what we've seen so far, it already looks packed with activity, with some reports suggesting there could be over 1,000 world events, similar to GTA 5's Strangers and Freaks missions. And a world like that doesn't just come down to map design. It comes down to how the game is made, because the years that followed Grand Theft Auto 5 would end up being some of the most important for Rockstar and for GTA 6, as the company underwent major changes in its culture and leadership. After the release of Red Dead Redemption 2, those changes became impossible to ignore. For years, working on a Rockstar game was described as a death march, with GTA 4 developers saying it's like working with a gun to your head 7 days a week. So by the time Red Dead Redemption 2 was finished, it was clear that this approach wasn't sustainable, especially for something as big as GTA 6, which is why Rockstar had to change. That meant flexible working conditions, internal restructuring, and a conscious move away from the culture that built its earlier games. And in the middle of all these changes came the departure of Dan Houser, the co-founder and head writer behind Rockstar's most iconic titles. This is where concerns about the next Grand Theft Auto started for a lot of fans, as the man who helped shape the identity and the tone of these games left when it was time to make arguably the biggest entertainment product of all time. Those concerns only grew larger when he later confirmed that he had no involvement in the development of GTA 6, though he still believed that the game will be great. And while that might sound reassuring, it doesn't really change the position GTA 6 is in. As even Strauss Zelnick would put it, that giving the fans what they want isn't enough. It has to be something you've never seen before. It has to be nothing short of perfection. And that's where the real problem begins. Because when the goal is perfection, repeating what worked before isn't enough. They're trying to move past something that's still defining the standard a decade later. And that's not something they can just build on top of, as that kind of pressure forces them to rethink what comes next. Which is why expecting GTA 6 to be similar to GTA 5 might miss the mark entirely. Also, if you're into stories like this, consider subscribing. And the first real sign of that shift came long before Rockstar officially revealed anything. Because in 2022, one of the biggest leaks in gaming history gave us our very first look at GTA 6. This was the leak that revealed some of the major information we know today, such as the game's setting, budget, and more importantly, the introduction of a female protagonist. This was a first for the GTA series, and even for Rockstar as a whole. Though some fans were disappointed as they didn't see this fitting for a GTA game, yet this had always been something Dan Houser wanted. As he said in an interview with The Guardian, "It's one of the things that we always think about. It didn't feel natural for this game, but definitely for the right game in the future, it could be fantastic." This leak also gave us a major hint at the direction Rockstar is taking with this title, choosing to focus more on realism and immersion rather than the chaos that defined GTA 5. There were clips showing a time until dispatch system for cops, with the option to also negotiate with them when they arrive, and even a surrender button, which is a big step up from the broken cops of GTA 5. This change in focus also reflects in the characters too, as a relationship-driven story is entirely new for GTA. Leaks even hinted that your actions could influence how their relationship develops over time, potentially even inspired by the honor system in Red Dead Redemption 2. And when a system like that is part of the game, it changes what the story revolves around. Even the branding starts to reflect that, as GTA 5's green identity was closely tied to money and greed, while GTA 6's pink and purple tones lean more into the Vice City aesthetic, shaped by nightlife, image, and the social media culture you see reflected in its first trailer, which is a clear break from the formula GTA 5 was built on. Rockstar isn't trying to create a GTA 5.5 here, they're trying to outgrow it instead. And that alone changes what this game is supposed to be. So when you step back and look at everything that's changed, the studio, the leadership, and the culture, you start to realize this was never about just making another GTA. This isn't just a new city or a new story. It's a shift in what Rockstar believes a Grand Theft Auto game should be. And once that changes, everything around it changes too. What you expect from it, how it feels to play, and what it's trying to become. Because GTA 5 defined a decade, now GTA 6 is trying to define the next one. And you don't do that by holding on to the past. You do it by moving beyond it.